Good morning, listeners of Hot Topic and Fresh News. Today is the 9th day of November, 2023, and we have some gripping news for you. A tragic incident in South Africa where a British surgeon, Kar Hao Teoh, was killed during a family trip. His family alleges that they were directed into a violent protest by the police where Teoh was shot. The South African Police Service has urged the family to contact them with any complaints. On a lighter note, it appears that the family was on a 2-week trip of a lifetime, enjoying whale watching and seeing penguins before the devastating event. The incident occurred on the evening of August 3rd in Nyanga, a township in Cape Town known for its high crime rates. While trying to avoid road closures due to an unexpected taxi minibus strike, the family was directed into the path of the protest. By the time the strike ended, 5 people, including a police officer and the British surgeon, were dead. The memory of burned-out cars and a burned-out bus haunts the family, but the most striking scene is that of their loved one being shot while driving. Despite being shot, Teoh managed to hold on for an hour before an ambulance arrived, unfortunately too late to save his life. Witnesses offered help, but police reportedly refused to call for medical assistance. The family was then told to leave the area immediately without giving a statement. No arrests have been made concerning Teoh's death, and the family is appealing for justice and closure. In the meantime, they remain thankful to the ambulance drivers who assisted them and are praying for Teoh's soul to rest in peace. The South African Police Service has stated that the murder is under investigation. More on this and other stories as the day unfolds here on Hot Topic and Fresh News. Hello, everyone! Your host, Emily, is back on the mic.
And this is your commentator, David, ready to dive into today's hot topics.
We're here every day, same time, same place, serving you the freshest news on Hot Topic and Fresh News. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications to stay updated. Now, straight to the hot topics.
So, this incident took place in the township of Nyanga, Cape Town, correct?
Yes, that's correct. The family was directed into the township to avoid road closures caused by an unexpected taxi minibus strike.
And who directed them into this path?
The family claims it was a policeman who directed them into the path of the protest.
Was there any warning about the violent protest?
No, it all happened unexpectedly. The protest had been called suddenly that afternoon.
How did the family find themselves in the middle of such a violent scene?
They were on their way back from a day of whale watching and sightseeing when they ended up in Nyanga due to the road closures.
This must have been a traumatic experience for his wife and mother who were present at the scene, right?
Absolutely, the trauma of witnessing such a horrific event is unimaginable.
This incident reminds me of a similar situation that occurred years ago, where a family was caught in the middle of a protest while driving back from a vacation. The road was closed, and there was chaos everywhere. Unfortunately, these tragic incidents highlight the importance of providing accurate and timely information to the public, especially during volatile situations like protests.
The family found themselves in Nyanga, one of Cape Town's oldest black townships with a history of high crime rates. They were directed there as it was believed motorists were being targeted on the road they were initially heading towards.
So they were essentially rerouted from one dangerous situation into another?
It appears so. They were forced to drive past an already burned-out bus, indicating that the situation was very volatile.
And it was at this point that they were attacked?
Yes. The family reported that a man approached their rental car and shot Mr. Teoh. There was no confrontation or provocation. He was driving and he was shot.
What happened next? Could the family get him any help?
They tried. After the shooting, Mr. Teoh's mother tried to take control of the wheel to prevent a crash. Another motorist, who had also been directed into Nyanga, came to assist in stopping the car.
Could they get him medical help immediately?
Not immediately, unfortunately. Sarah and Ina reported seeing at least 6 different police officers at the scene, but claims they refused to call an ambulance.
So despite being in close proximity to a police station, they couldn't get immediate help?
That's the family's account. They said they pleaded with the officers to help, but one even suggested they drive Mr. Teoh to the nearest hospital themselves.
This is a shocking account of a tragic event. Can you provide an example of any similar incidents?
Tragically, similar incidents have occurred in other parts of the world where local authorities have failed to provide the necessary help in dire situations. For instance, during the Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria, there were multiple reports of people being directed into dangerous areas by local authorities, resulting in fatalities and injuries.
So how long did it take for the ambulance to arrive?
According to the family, it took an hour for the ambulance to arrive, and by that time, tragically, Mr. Teoh had already passed away.
What did the police do after the ambulance arrived?
The family stated that the police told them to leave the area as soon as possible, and they were allowed to identify Mr. Teoh's body at the morgue the next day.
Were they asked for their statement?
No, the family wasn't asked for their statement or any identifying information.
Who took them to a safe place?
The paramedics, interestingly. The family stated that the police insisted they could not transport them in a police car, so the ambulance drivers took them to safety and contacted the British Embassy.
Has there been any progress in the investigation?
As of now, no arrests have been made in connection with Mr. Teoh's death. The South African Police Service said that the murder is under investigation.
Is the family doing anything to assist with the investigation?
Yes, they are appealing to any witnesses or locals who were in the area at the time of Mr. Teoh's death to come forward. They are desperate for closure and justice. As the story unfolds, the family continues their plea for anyone with information to come forward, while the investigation by the South African Police Service is ongoing.
It's a tragic situation. The family, already dealing with a terrible loss, is also grappling with the absence of justice.
Indeed, it's a heartbreaking scenario that underscores the importance of safety, the duty of local authorities, and the urgent need for justice for victims of violent crimes.
It's a grim reminder that even in our interconnected world, there are still places where danger can catch us off guard, and help might not come as swiftly or thoroughly as we'd hope. A truly heartbreaking story.
Thank you all for joining us on Hot Topic and Fresh News today. We covered some truly important and compelling news, and your interest and engagement make it all worthwhile. Remember to subscribe and activate those notifications so you'll always be in the know. Please share our podcast with your friends, colleagues, and anyone else who appreciates in-depth news coverage. We'd love to hear your comments and thoughts.
And don't forget, we're here every day, bringing you all the news you need to stay informed, in a way that's as enlightening as it is entertaining. We've got some really intriguing stories lined up, so be sure to keep tuning in.
We're incredibly grateful for your support, and we're eagerly looking forward to our next episode.
Absolutely. Your support is what makes this all possible. So until next time, Emily and David, stay in the loop, keep your eyes on the news, our channel's content will amuse.